Have you ever stopped for a moment to thank the universe for what you already have? Today, we live in a world that constantly tells us to want more, to do more, to achieve more. But how often do we take the time to appreciate what is already in our lives? Today, I invite you to explore the transformative power of gratitude through the story of Roberto, a man who learned to see life in a completely new way when he decided to change his focus. Roberto was a 50-year-old man who had always worked hard. He owned a small business and spent his days worrying about bills, deadlines, and the daily challenges of running his company. Even with a stable life and everything he needed, Roberto was constantly stressed. It always seemed like something was missing, that true happiness was still far out of reach. One day, Roberto had a conversation that would change the way he saw life. He was visiting his friend Carlos, who was undergoing cancer treatment. Despite the difficult situation, Carlos always had a smile on his face. He thanked the nurses for their care, his family for their company, and even the sunlight streaming through the hospital room window. Roberto couldn't understand how someone in such a complicated situation could be so grateful. Curious, he asked, "Carlos, how can you be so positive with everything that's happening?" Carlos, with the calm that always characterized him, replied, "Roberto, gratitude is the only thing I can really control. I can choose to be grateful for what I have today, even if it's little, or I can drown in my worries. But I've learned that gratitude brings me peace, and it's that peace that gives me strength to keep going." Those words stayed in Roberto's mind for a long time. He started to realize that in his own life he was always focused on what was missing, on the difficulties, on what he still needed to achieve. He never stopped to appreciate what he already had: his health, his family, the small moments of joy in his daily life. One night, after an especially stressful day at work, Roberto decided to try something different. He took out a notebook and wrote, "Today I am grateful for dinner with my family and the laughter we shared." He didn't know what to expect from this exercise, but something inside him changed. Writing those words made him realize that despite the problems at work, there were good things in his life that deserved to be valued. From that day on, Roberto started writing down something he was grateful for every day. At first, they were simple things: a good cup of coffee in the morning, a quiet walk in the park, a pleasant conversation with a friend. But as time passed, he began to notice deeper things, like the fact that he had people who loved him, or how his business, despite the challenges, still provided for him and his family. Roberto also decided to put gratitude into practice in other ways. Instead of just writing it down, he began to express his gratitude directly to people. At work, he started thanking his employees more often for their effort and dedication. At home, he thanked his wife for her small gestures of affection and his children for being present in his life. One day, something surprising happened. One of his employees, Marcos, who always seemed distant and unmotivated, approached Roberto and said, "I wanted to thank you for always recognizing our efforts. It makes all the difference to me." Roberto was touched. He realized that his change in attitude was not only transforming his own life, but also the lives of those around him. Roberto also began visiting Carlos more frequently. During one of those visits, he brought a notebook as a gift for his friend. "I want you to write down all the things you're grateful for, just like I do," Roberto said. Carlos smiled and accepted the gift, and the two began sharing their gratitude lists every time they met. Over time, the practice of gratitude became a pillar in Roberto's life. He realized that gratitude did not eliminate his problems, but it changed the way he faced them. Instead of feeling overwhelmed and stressed, he felt stronger, calmer, and more capable of dealing with the challenges that arose. Roberto understood that gratitude was like a light that illuminated even the darkest moments. Even when his business faced difficulties, he could find something to be grateful for. The support of his family, the opportunity to learn something new, the strength to keep trying. One afternoon, Roberto was walking through the park when he saw a woman crying on a bench. He approached her and asked if she was okay. The woman, Anna, said she had lost her job and didn't know how she was going to pay her bills. Roberto listened carefully and, when she finished, said, "I know it's hard, but try to find one thing, no matter how small, that you can be grateful for today. It may seem like little, but it can change the way you see everything around you." Anna was silent for a moment, then smiled, still with tears in her eyes, and replied, "Today I'm grateful because you cared enough to talk to me." Roberto felt his heart warm. He realized that just as Carlos had done for him, he was now spreading that light of gratitude to others. Roberto's journey shows us that gratitude is not just a feeling. It is a choice. It is deciding to see the beauty in small moments, even when life isn't perfect. It is understanding that even amid difficulties, there is always something to be grateful for. Today, I invite you to do the same. Take a piece of paper, or just close your eyes and think of something you are grateful for right now. It could be something simple: a smile, a hug, the warmth of the sun. When we practice gratitude, we change our vibration and it transforms how we face life. Remember that there are people facing enormous challenges, and yet they still find reasons to be grateful. So I ask you again, what are you grateful for today? Thank you for watching this story. If you found it meaningful, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring stories. Share this video with someone who needs a reminder about the power of gratitude.